Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another motovlog. I just want to say a quick thank you to everyone that engaged in the last motovlog. I think it created a really positive space. There's some fantastic comments on that one, and I appreciate it, and I think, you know, it has the potential to be a good resource for people. Proper autumn day today. So I don't think I'm like a philosopher or a prophet, but I've had a really weird life which has led me to have some, I would say, a strangely high amount of life experience given my age. That's how I'll frame that one. But anyway, the topic of today's video is going to be what to do when things aren't going your way. One of the worst things that you can do when things aren't going your way, whether it may be work, relationships, whatever, literally anything, the worst thing you can do is blame everyone and really focus on blaming everyone or situational factors, just blaming things. It kind of gets you nowhere, honestly. And all the obvious stuff as well, but let's reiterate it anyway. Drinking, drugs. I think in some spheres it's almost romanticized. It's not good, and it won't help. I say the most pivotal time in my life when I kind of got it together a bit and ended up on a trajectory that I was happy with was when I learned the power of accountability. To me, accountability is everything. It's the one true way to progress your life and take control. And the way I've approached accountability is to make myself accountable for everything. And there's going to be instances where there are situational reasons or whatever that mean that something is really not your fault. And perhaps it is just a bit of a massive injustice. A common one at the moment is dating, right? So I've heard this a lot from my single friends, and I experienced it when I was single a few years ago. Dating is really weird now, and it's especially hard for men. Well, it's especially hard for everyone, but it's especially hard to initially find a partner for men. And I don't think that's really disputed. Women have their own plethora of issues among the dating pool, but for men it's generally just, you know, getting a date. And there's a few ways that you can perceive that. So the way you don't want to perceive it is, well, it's women's fault then, isn't it? Like, you hear this rhetoric of like, oh, women just like arseholes, blah blah blah. Or like blaming women basically for the fact that that dating is weird now. Oh no, we're going straight across. And if you have that approach as a man, say it's all women's fault, you're going to be an incel. And you're probably going to be an incel forever. And there's certain factors that are completely out of your control with dating in particular. But what you need to do is be accountable, not necessarily for the thing, like dating being hard or weird, but being accountable for the outcome. So for instance, okay, dating's really hard now, and I feel like I'm being left on the shelf because I'm undesirable. In my head, and using accountability, what you would do is you would say, well, what can I do to make it better for myself? Let's take this on my end, and let's take control of the variables that I can change. And that's the way I kind of perceive the world now. Even if something isn't my fault, my follow-up to that is always, well, what can I do about it? Because the thing is, no one's going to fix these things for you. And if you have somewhat of a victim mentality with life in general and the issues that it proposes, you're going to get left behind and you're going to miss out, and that's a real bummer. Lovely bit of road here. Where is everyone? So be really, really careful of being a victim. not necessarily being a victim, because sometimes you are going to be a victim, but be careful of that being the way you rationalize everything. Be careful of always blaming external variables, because what that's going to do is it's going to lead to you feeling defeated and you're not going to do anything about it. And you can kind of apply it to anything, whether it be like work, education, your passions, your dreams. What you need to remember is that the buck stops with you. It's up to you to figure it out. Oh, look at this. I feel like this is super picturesque. Feels quite grand driving along this road. Throughout my formative sort of teenage years and early adulthood, I always felt really hard done by. My reasons for feeling hard done by were kind of valid, because I kind of was. I grew up in foster care and stuff, and I had a plethora of shit to deal with that I thought my peers didn't have to deal with. This is a good bit of red, let's give it some down here. Get a little tuck in. Some good cold air for the Grommy engine. So 68 on the speedometer is pretty good for the Grom. Yeah, so I felt like I had all these issues to deal with that my friends didn't, and the truth was I kind of did, but they were my issues to deal with and no one was coming to save me. And the pivotal moment was when I realised if I don't sort this out, or if I don't, take control of this, no one's going to. I'm going to get left behind and my life is going to suck. That was the real crux of it. And it sucks. Because it's a bit like when you're a kid and, something gets blamed on you and it wasn't you. And you get told off for something you didn't even do. But that's the only way to approach it. Especially if you've had a particularly difficult life. I didn't have a fallback plan. I really like the road I was just on. Look at this autumnal beauty. Man. It's good to be alive. But that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about today. Accountability is everything. If you've got any thoughts on anything that I said today, drop it in the comments below. Let's get the conversation started. Because really what I want to do here is foster a community of support and positivity and create something where we can solve our issues together. Because community is a really beautiful thing. And in this life you got to share your problems. Thank you for watching. I appreciate every last one of you. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.